Hello Power Rangers fans and welcome back to Tokullectibles. Today I'm taking a look at the Power Rangers Dino Fury Action Q Red Ranger figure from Innovation Point. So this is a little, I think it's somewhat die-cast or some kind of little posable figure here of Dino Fury Red of Zato. So this actually got announced by the same company that is doing those metal Megazords you might have seen prototypes for. We saw a Thunder Megazord, which I think is up for pre-order or has been for a very long time. And we got to see some like prototype images of Shogun and Turbo and stuff like that. But this is, I think, their first Power Rangers product that actually made it to retail. So this was $25 at Morphicon at the Tokullectibles booth, but it is $35 on Tokullectibles' website because that factors in shipping. So I was able to get it, $10 cheaper, buying it in person and just packing it in my suitcase. So here it is, and I'm pretty excited to take a look at it. I think it looks like a pretty neat little figure here. I'm definitely in a Dino Fury mood because of the announcement of Cosmic Fury and everything. So the link for this will be in the description below if you'd like to check it out. And also the audio, I'm trying to test it out on this camera here, or on my phone. I actually have an external microphone plugged into this video for the first time, so I'm curious how that's working. We'll see in the editing process. But I've been, talking about it for so long. Let's go ahead and get into this figure here. So as you can see, it's this Power Rangers Dino Fury Action Q line. I'm not sure anything about this company, so I'm not sure how many of these things exist. I don't know if this is a long-going line of a bunch of different brands, but here is Innovation Point's little logo. Licensed by Hasbro, so it's not a Hasbro product, but they licensed it. And you have Dino Fury Red Ranger, just the Power Rangers logo over there, the Power Rangers logo over there. It says Dino Fury Red Ranger on the top again. And then right here, you have a nice picture of this. I love this sword effect that you get on the Chroma Fury Saber. I think that is really cool. As you can see, my box is a little dented, and that's my own fault because I put this in the backpack that I had as a just personal item to bring onto the plane. So I was trying not to get it damaged, but I did damage it a little bit, but that is my fault, but that's fine. And as you can see, barcode there. Here's just some stuff, I guess, about Innovation Point. I guess their WeChat and Weibo, if you want that for any particular reason. So it says, this figure is aiming to present the character in a cute version with movable parts. So it's very articulated. You get this nice glossy image of it there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got with Zato. So I lied. We're not going to open them up completely because I wanted to show off actually how this packaging is broken down, because you get a lot with this actually. So here's the actual figure itself, protected in like a little two-fold tray here. So he just slides right out. There's his little cut. Ooh, this feels nice. Okay, this is pretty nice. So we'll definitely take a look at that, obviously, momentarily. We'll put the tray over there. Here's the tray of accessories. So as you can see, you get two different sets of hands besides the ones that are actually on him. Ooh, I see how this works. You get the hilt of the Chroma Fury Saber, and then you get one regular and then one really cool swooshing one. And then this is actually for a display stand, which I didn't realize it comes with. So here is a little display stand, which is completely out of focus, that says Power Rangers, and you get a little instruction manual for the display stand, and I assume that this is a instruction manual, probably how to swap the hands and the sword effects. So I had nothing there. You can holster it. Yeah, that looks really nice. So here's just kind of a look at that if you want to take a nice little look at how this figure works. Seems pretty interesting. It says hands C and D can hold the saber, so there's specific hands that are cut out for it. So, all right, now I'm going to get everything out of the trays, and then we'll take a look at him. Okay, so here's everything that Zato comes with out of the box, and you do get a tiny little instruction manual for how to assemble the little stand, which I mean is pretty self-explanatory. It's just the arm and the little hook. So as I showed off a little earlier, here is the Power Ranger stand. It's just a nice clear stand that says Power Rangers. It just does not like to focus on this camera. So you get this hand or a little stand thing, which is pretty movable. It just has three little kind of port joints there. Can it rotate on there? Yeah, it can. It can rotate there. So you just kind of can accordion in and everything. It's very sort of similar to like a Tamashii stand. And that would just peg in there. I think you can peg it in either way, I would imagine. But they all can rotate out. And then obviously you have this big thing, which is supposed to be like this way. And you can just peg that right in like so. So you'll be able to get a lot of nice action poses out of Zato here, and I'll kind of try to pull one off the best that I can. I'm terrible with posing figures, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so moving on to actually Zato himself. This is pretty nice. So It's almost like if it was like an articulated, like I mentioned, those Megaforce Tokyo vinyl figures. It's almost like an articulated one of those, or an articulated, like almost sort of Funko Pop thing with the big head. But yeah, I mean, you do get a lot of posability here. Let's kind of try to get it there. I mean, obviously the little chibiness of it kind of makes like he just has this little single jointed elbow. But the hands can rotate. Look at that though. They painted the Dino Fury Morpher really, really nicely there. That is really well done. Even the little red button. So that's really impressive. The shoulders. Obviously, I'm not trying to like unpeg the joint, but like everything. Oh, I just kind of made him hit himself there. But you can rotate everything, I presume. Oh, this is this okay? I think the actual the actual ball does move. It's just a little hard to kind of see where that joint actually is, but move out there, bend there. You do have a waist swivel, and he can sort of move up and down. He sort of has an ab crunch, which they do kind of continue the lightning bolt design thing for whenever you do kind of move him around. So that's kind of nice. Legs are pretty limited because he has very small legs. You can just kind of get him to kick about that far. Double jointed knees though. Ooh, that's quite good. The feet, I think, are kind of, they're on a ball joint. I can't talk. Ball jointed feet. Very nice. He also does have the bottoms of his boots painted, so really good attention to detail there. And I presume, ball jointed head, which moves very nicely. Let's get a good look at that. You got the green painted in the eyes. You can look up a little bit. Obviously, it doesn't come off. There's no Zato head underneath there. But yeah, I really do quite like it, especially all the detail with the paint on the holder for the keys. It's continued onto the back quite nicely. The holster is very nicely painted and sculpted. It even has, let's try to take a look at that. This arm, oh wait, he has little butterfly ratchet joints in there too. That's quite good. I did not even realize that. This one's arm like doesn't want to move. It's quite weird like that. But what I was trying to show off is that the holster does have the little Resoldier Dino Fury logo sculpted on there, which is really cool. So the hands he comes with out of the box are just two fists, so nothing too crazy there. You can just get him into some punching poses with that, or whatever you want to do with it. So I don't know, something like this. I'm kind of just sort of maneuvering him around and kind of doing my best with that. But there's that. And to see how well does he stand on his own. Stands pretty good. Not bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. Ooh, wait. Is he gonna stand? Yeah, there we go. So here's the hilt for the Chroma Fury Saber. So as you can see, there's just a big port up there for either the blade version or the effect blade version. So very nicely painted, even down to little gold bits right there. So that is very nice. And the blade as well is painted beautifully with all the silver and red. So all you have to do, pretty sure. That was a little, nerve-wracking. It still looks like it's in there nice and straight though. But here we go. So here's the fully assembled Chroma Fury Saber. Ooh. It's got a pretty good sharp point up there actually. It's actually not that dull. So taking a look at some of the hands that can go with the saber, or just hands in general. You have one right hand here that's sort of opened, and then you have one more that's even more split open, and then almost dropped that hand. You get two of the silver left hands that are very similar, but one just has the hand out a little bit more. I think the two that you're supposed to use are the ones where it's more clenched for the sword, which might be a little tricky because it doesn't really want to, it's not really pliable. So I'm curious how easy it's going to be to get the sword in there without damaging the hand. But I really do gotta show it. Well, actually, first, before I do that, because it's gonna be difficult to take it in and out, you can holster it. So that is a pretty nice feature. I do quite enjoy that. It looks good. It just kind of dangles there a little bit, but it doesn't really clip in, as far as I know, unless I don't think I have it backwards or anything, right? I mean, you can fit it in, Yeah, you can fit it in either way, however you see fit for that. But now let's try to actually get it into his hand, like I was trying to do. I do believe this is cast in black plastic, so I'm not worried about it like chipping off in the hands or anything like a lightning collection weapon would. Maybe it'd be easier to just try to put the hilts in there. Got it. So there is that. So let's go ahead and swap the hands, which shouldn't be too bad. They should just be on a ball joint, he says, as I can't get it out. So, oh, there we go. Okay, so there is that. And I'm a little afraid of, the pressure on this joint when you're trying to swap it out like that. Oh, that almost went the wrong direction. Not a fan of this part. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that felt scary. Quite scary. I do not like that. So here is, I'll kind of have him in a more standing pose. So here is Dino Fury Red with the Chroma Fury Saber. So, does look pretty good in his hand. I think it's proportioned nicely, even though it's a little bit out of frame here. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I do quite like that. And then let's go ahead and test out the one I prefer, because I just think it looks so cool, is this one, which is the swooshing. So basically what they do is they didn't paint the red on the actual blade part, but there's just this really cool swooshing effect, which is going to clip in the same way that the blade did. And that's supposed to be like he just swiped down or something and is hitting something with the force of the blade. So that one looks pretty cool. Let's see, we can kind of have him in almost like a flying pose. We'll see how difficult it is. So I assume he's supposed to kind of sit in here like this, and then see how well he holds his weight. Also, earlier I said I thought this was like a die-cast figure or something. It's totally not. I don't know why I said that. I think I got it confused with the Megazords. But I assume that you're supposed to kind of have him sit there, and then doesn't really want to support his weight. We kind of got something going here. We'll kind of angle the foot around. Oh, well, alright, there we go. And there's Zato on the action pose, or whatever you got him going on here. I like this. I think it looks pretty good. So basically kind of my final thoughts for this, because I'm going to sort of just leave him here. In terms of like positive stuff, I really do like it a lot. I like the painting detail. I like the little design. I wouldn't necessarily mind if we got more of these. I don't know how many of them I would really buy necessarily. My only like cons are just how hard it was to get the sword into his hand. The swapping of the hands feels a little delicate, and I don't like that his joints on his left arm are not silver, because it really does break up that whole silver arm that the Resoldier suits have. But besides that, if you like the little like stylized design, I totally get how this is not for a lot of people, and I'm not really sure what the intended audience for this is. I mean, it says 15 plus on the box, so it's definitely supposed to be more of a collector's item. And for 25, I don't think it's terrible. I mean, obviously, if you buy it online from Tokullectibles, it's 35. I'm not sure what other places are selling this. I've only ever seen Tokullectibles selling it, but it's very possible other collector shops or other import shops are selling it as well, because it essentially is an import Power Rangers thing, but that's something that isn't a Sentai thing, because it's obviously very much branded Power Rangers. And just as kind of another piece in Hasbro just basically giving the Power Rangers license out to anybody who wants it, but one of the few times that they actually are doing something licensed that is not from Mighty Morphin. Of course, it's from the current team, so that makes sense as well, but I do quite like it for what it is. So I can highly recommend it, just as like a fun little novelty thing, or if you're just in a big Dino Fury mood, or even if you're a big Resoldier fan, because besides the Power Rangers on the stand, there's nothing here that couldn't say that this is just Resol Red, or whatever you want to do with it. So I do recommend it, and I like it quite a bit. And like I said, the link for the actual thing on Tokullectibles will be in the description below, if you'd like to check that out. And of course, until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or at LiveRangerPR, and I'll see you all next time.